Hi, my name is Chris Delad and I'm the Director of Golf at Mayfield Golf Club. And I'm here today to talk to you about some of the biomechanics of the golf swing. My goal is to teach you a simple, repeatable motion that stands up under pressure and, most importantly, doesn't hurt you. So before we begin, I'm going to hit a few golf balls and I want you to take a look at what I'm doing. What do you see? How does it apply? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it afterwards. And then a couple of the exercises we need to do to make things better. For most people, when they watch somebody hit a golf ball, they don't really focus on the things that I would as a coach. What they're seeing is generally the golf ball. So here's the problem. When most people come to the golf course, what they end up doing is they see the way people swing on tour, think they can hit the ball the same way as them, and then basically what they end up doing is they lock their body in and they swing. Unfortunately, golf has a dubious honor. It's one of the #1 back injury sport possible. So what do we want to do? Well, basically, I want to get into this today and show you some complementary exercises that can help you avoid the risk of injury. So first off, what most people do is they brace their lower body like they're going to do some form of squat, and then they turn and hit. Now think about it. Upper body's rotating, lower body's not moving. The lower back is getting exposed. And so actually, whether you knew this or not, it's about 7 times your entire body weight that's being inflicted on your lower lumbar in a golf swing. Well, the first thing is you got to understand how we actually move. So let's think about something different. Let's talk about something like another sport. So watch. See, what's the first thing that moves? My foot. So my ground forces are actually coming in, my hips start to turn, my shoulders, my elbow, and then my hand. Think about a hockey slap shot. You see them like this. Same thing. Transfer of power up through the chain, through the hips, the shoulders, and then through the actual tool. Tennis, ground forces, and of course the golf swing. That kind of kinematics is the same thing for all sports, and unless you knew that, you might not be trying to optimize that kind of motion in your actual golf swing. But the problem is this, most people get really rigid. But what we want to do is, we want to teach you how to be fluid. So I'm going to teach you something a little bit funny, but actually it's very useful for you long term, and it's called the Rhumba de golf. What I want to teach you is how the actual hips and knees and feet work together in the lower body. It's something most golfers don't actually think about at all. So if you want to key in on it, most golfers will do this. They kind of just move their hips. And I kind of look at it as being a washing machine. They kind of just do this little bit of movement like that, thinking that's what it works. But the energy transfer actually isn't very efficient. But if you watch what I'm doing here, watch with my feet to my knees to my hips, you can see that I'm actually grabbing the ground, working my knees, and rotating my hips. And that allows me to control my rotation. But here's something else. Notice, where's my nose? Where's my eyes? Where's my head? Does it move? So now I have a central point on which to rotate. If I can make a stable rotation, then ultimately it adds to the consistency of the golf swing itself. What does it feel, where, and when? It's about that time and space that we need to always be bouncing around in. If we can feel it as it happens, we've got a better chance of actually doing the actual exercise when it counts. Now when I go into the motion, you'll notice that my knees are tracking in opposite direction, and I have a sensation in the toe, and the heel on this side, in the knee on this side, and on my outside of my butt on that side. And then I flip it. So I go the opposite direction. Toe, heel, knee, butt, flip it, toe, heel, knee, butt. That sort of gives me an opportunity to work that back and forth. So I'm engaging here, I'm feeling it work across my lower buttocks, and then now at that point, then what I can do is I can add the arms. And I stretch, and I stretch, and I stretch, and I stretch. So to complement what we did with the Rhumba, I wanted to give you some stretches. And the idea behind the stretches is we want to open up the hip muscles as much as possible. So if your knees are bad, I'm going to show you how to do that with a little bit of the chair. And if your knees are good, I'm going to show you the alternate exercise using the mat. So the first thing you're going to do is sit on the edge of the chair. You'll notice I'm out and I'm away from the back. I'm going to have my legs spread out, toes pointing out, and I'm going to roll my shoulders back and tuck my chin in. Now I'm trying to make sure that my ears, my shoulders, and my hips are aligned, and I'm in a good posture. From that position, I'm going to try to bend forward slowly from the waist and allow my hands to slide down the edge of my leg. into a position where I can put my hands on the ground. If you can't make the ground, just put them on your knees. From that position, you can just allow it to sort of ease into this area of the hips. Now, just to be on the safe side, what I want you to understand is something very simple. As I move, what's going to happen is I'm going to feel that stretching. There's a point when you should really either stop or continue. And that point, when you feel pain, you should just say, that's it. Pull back. It's your body's way of telling you that you're not supposed to be there. So this position here, pushing my hands, and now I'm feeling my legs open. Now, another exercise that works very well from that same seated position is roll the shoulders back, tuck the tummy, and see if you can get the leg into this position. And I'm actually pushing just gently down on my knee. I'm going to feel it on the outside of my hip on this side. What if you can't get your foot up to that position? Let's make a modification. So let's put the knee out like this, and then have the foot there. Grab your pant leg, and you're able to pull up a little bit. That way you can still get a little bit of the stretch. It's your body's way of telling you how tight you are. Don't worry, everybody's built differently. Take your time, do it right. The last stretch is actually kind of a fencer stretch that we do on the ground. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knee down here, push myself on this side, again tall, and now push a little forward. Now you'll notice my knee does not go past my toe, and then I'm actually stable here. And then I push forward, tuck my tummy, and twist off to the side. And then I would rotate on the other side to be able to do that as well. So those are 3 stretches that should complement what we do. As this opens up, then of course it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to do that Rhumba motion that we did before. My hips are open, means it's a lot easier for my hips to move. And this will become eventually your warm-up exercise. Moving the toes to heel, the knee to butt, and then moving through. Back and forth, and then add the arms. And so this motion, you'll notice I initiate from my feet to my knees to my hips, and then I allow my arms to extend. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm Chris Delat from Mayfield Golf Club, and I hope that you will come and visit me sometime soon.